after I made the video yesterday morning on the Scottish rugby frauds and all the massive links to the Walter Scott Foundation, the Black Douglas dynasty, the Montagues, who I'm just here droning away in Radio 4 in the living room as we speak. What they've done is that they refused to show up for the interview that we were going to talk about Scotland's freedom in, and since I went to bed last night and started to process the video that I was uploading on the massive rugby scams, let me just play you some of the initial moments from that so you can get the gist of it. Gavin Hastings, the man that missed the kick on the now they'll probably have taken this down, because the whole point of me deleting the video that I made on this was to make room for Nala Nalas, the Scottish activist for freedom, who was gone to the law courts yesterday morning with his cameras. They've probably taken down the video that I made on Scottish treason, led by Scottish landlords who are historic figures and are all intermarried into each other, and that just shows you the pathetic allegiance of the working man to the elites. Now there's all the videos I've got to choose from, and the one that I made on them was called Lamont 3, and it's the third of 3. It covers the local councillor issues. That's Hutton, the preacher, runs the local council, runs the local British Legion branch, enslaves the whole of the public sector employees, including the doctor that used to be a policeman that tries to get me sectioned, freezes the pay of all the public sector staff. That's Alistair Hutton, appoints one of his HR figureheads to be the next councillor, head of the council, CEO of the council. She doubles her salary as the rest of the staff have their pay frozen for 5 years back to back. You can see why they're ever so sensitive about me continuing to publish videos on local heroes who are actually war criminals, bosses at the Las Vegas Military Tattoo, and a company called SRU, no, not the Scottish Rugby Union, a debating society on the Burns Club on Scottish romanticism and in killing kids in conflicts overseas. The last letter on the acronym for SRUC is the C word. They are bastards. They are stealing SRUC with Alistair Hutton at its head, Alistair Henry Hutton, as a joke of King Henry that torched all our religious abbeys all across the Borders region, in the name of the Rule Britannia context that is very prevalent in the year of the referendum, as all of the traitors come out of the woods. Right then, let's see if I can find the first few sentences. The picture is of Gavin Hastings in the World Cup semi-final, holding his head in his hands as he missed the kick in front of the posts that could have taken Scotland to the top of World Rugby. Instead we opted for Alistair Hutton style professional translations, and they followed like religious clerics would, in the thrall of a missionary. He runs the missionaries in Callum Pom with the vicar who's in the ITU, Right then, let me see if I can find that video I made, but I would bet my boots, because they've scanned my computer overnight, they've stopped the uploading of the damning video on what I was going to tell you about number 3, in league with the politicians, in league with Lamont, in league with the council and the Glasgow-based the Glasgow-based economic development units that Hutton also sits on the board with. Right, let me see if I can find it. There we are. Oh, they've let me keep it. Look, isn't that generous? Or is it even beyond Bill Gates' technology? Julian Callum Lamont 3. Here we go. Now this will be crackly. Take a wee bit of time to upload, but let me show you my conversation with Nala Nala last night. Nala Nala wouldn't use his right name for reasons that are known only to Nala Nala. He's explained to me that if you turn it around it becomes Alan Allen. If he's been taken out, I will have sincere regrets about this, but what has happened is that he has just disrupted my capacity to make another interview in a very important point in time. He's pretended that he's out, but when he responds to me he pretends that he's his girlfriend called Kathy, like the woman in Wuthering Heights. A lot of wailing going on. They live close to Burns country, which is explained in one of those 3 videos about the faking up of the Burns country labels, the brutalisation of Africa by a man called Thompson from that region, and the links that Hutton has to the Thompson's Monument in Rule Britannia and Ednam in Kelso are massive. They lead into my divorce case and the persecution of my family for trying to free Scotland. 4 years of trying to free Scotland and make Scotland a figurehead for global freedom and the capacity to issue its own money in democracy, which is why the local council is busted for cash and why it's in Alistair Hutton's private accounts. Right then, let me get Nala Nala and I'll read out the correspondence if they've had the courage to still leave it on there. I very much doubt it. Contacts. All. Skype is owned by the same corporate owners as McAfee and Gmail, all of which I'm reliant on for communicating with the free world in inverted commas. It's pathetic. The intel are run out of Woolwich, the beheadings are run out of Woolwich, and the Church of Scotland condone the beheadings on the telly because they told us on Remembrance Sunday that Islam is the big menace to our world. It's all a corporate fraud. Even the rugby. Everything that you watch is staged. When Theresa May becomes focused on by treason researchers, a May pops up on the wing for England. You've got a coach and a standoff playing for England and coaching them just to cover up sensational news items. I forget the name of those families. The man was a rugby league hero, and it will probably come to me in due course. Okay, let's see if Nala Nala has been taken down on my contacts list. And And Nala Nala is a close friend to my mate Croft, whose mum is interested in helping me with my law case. And when I went to speak to the masses in Holyrood in Edinburgh, Croft was there and his mum was there. Nobody else turned up. And they had a massive faked up video about the previous weekend, how 6,000 Scottish independence fanatics were gathered together outside the building there to confront the government that created Arnott Manderson to cover up the killing of Moira Anderson in the false news flag to justify Stephen House's massive pay rise to 250,000 to further enslave the Scottish nation. No, there is no Nala Nala on my friends list on Skype this morning. So either Alan has been taken out, or they have just deleted him from my friends list. The conversation was very friendly. She pretended that she was gonna beat the hell out of him when he got back, like Rabsy Nisbet's wife, through the west coast. They live allegedly in Ardrossan, at the end of the Antonine Way. The treason is ancient. It covers up the Christianity fraud, which is why my video yesterday was taken down. It covers up the feudal system that is the ownership of Scottish land. The Dukes of Buccleuch, Sarah Montague that's reading the news for Radio 4 in the other room. The Montagues are the Dukes of Buccleuch, the Douglases are the Dukes of Buccleuch, the Scots are the Dukes of Buccleuch. They're all intermarried. The bastards are all stealing from the people. And the video that I just clicked on hasn't even opened yet. Let's try again. In case my click technique is no getting out. Oh, here we go. It must have been my click technique. Right then. Listen for the crackling. That's Scottish intel, who are Scottish traitors who have sold their country this year to Westminster and Hatton at Bosels. In the field opposite the Borders Council, they have a group of donkeys representing the religious joke. The title is
Good evening again. I'm just
John.
going to finish off the stories about the Borders rugby and Scottish rugby and the links to interlocking director.
The title is John Callum Lamont, 3 of 3, Scottish Rugby, British Lions fraud, President at the British Legion, and the interlocks with Germany, London, Kenya and Selkirk. I should have put in there at Ardrossan. Croft's mum has just popped up in the surveillance team in the bottom corner. That's Trisha P. Patricia, like my wife's solicitor, a Canadian citizen. The cabal is massive. The treason is relentless. They will stop at nothing to dismember their own country for personal wealth. That's Gavi Hastings. He sold off London Scottish to Bristol so that Bristol could keep their place in elite rugby, and Gavi Hastings could miss the kick right in front of the posts that would have put Scotland in the World Cup final. His director numbers can be released if you write me a polite email and you use your own fucking name instead of the intel name that you've been given by your bosses at St Andrew's House, who steal from Scotland in the NHS sector, which is all over my web pages. 6 pages of it. Crimes against the people, to dismember your own granny and then to lose control of your own house.
His name is Julian Lamont. Could be John Lamont, could be a different person. Very difficult to tell because of the capacity to cheat and steal in the British business records, the stock market, the corporations and the law sector that John Lamont MSP is an advisor on. I mentioned briefly the missed kick and the selling off of London Scottish in the 1960s. I failed to mention one of the themes that I've been very keen on, and one of the London Scottish players who I played against, he was immensely strong. He also got embroiled in the financial services sector, like Gavi Hastings here, who conveniently missed a kick right in front of the posts to let England get into the World Cup final the year that they were beaten.
The man whose name I couldn't remember is Mike Bigger, amputee like David Murray. His dad was in Colditz with the boss at the hotel that has just packed up with all the capital removed, now in the hands of KPMG, but the Scottish media tell you it's in the hands of the Church of Scotland vicar. It's a crock of shit. They are asset stripping every sector of society right under the people's noses, and the people do the laundering job for them out of little cottages just beside the Bowhill estate in Selkirk, and the energy company that has been set up as UCAN, run by the Steele brothers in popular culture, but actually ran by this cabal of dukes, duchesses and interlocking directors that interlock potentially, but that would be slander to our MSP John Lamont, who is an expert in international fraud because he started his working life with Freshfields, Brooke House and Derringer, the biggest law firm in the magic circle, in the theft sector in the world. And that is why I'm so interested in the interlocks between the Borders Quislings and the people that operate out of Westminster. Scotland cannot be free while these people are at liberty. And if Mami Nala Nala has been martyred by his colleagues in the intel sector because he seemed as if he was gone ballistic as he was visiting the law courts with his video camera yesterday morning, if he's been taken it by his colleagues, it is no surprise to me at all, because they are treasonous and ruthless bastards. Bye bye Skype communicants for this morning. That video is relatively short. I'll be able to post it really quickly, and when I'm awake it would be really dangerous for you guys to interfere with my IT. Cruff at Buccleuch, they've got a food production company that wants to be self-sustainable. Do you curtsy to the Duke? Poor old Nala Nala. Even our three-cornered conversation has been disrupted. Let's see if that's still alive. Oh no, look, the three-cornered conversation section has become an empty group. The man that participated in the conversation with me a couple of weeks ago, that I didn't bother to tape it because it was so futile. We were talking about their own Ballop relations with accents that were spookily familiar for me. The other man in that conversation works for the Duke of Northumberland as a picker-upper at the Beaton, when the Duke of Northumberland shoots down relentlessly the peasants all around his estate. Sorry, that should be pheasants. That man fished in the Kelso Fishing Club. He keeps meeting me on street corners and he's got a lovely accent. It was in the three-cornered group video that we made with these people the last time, and when you visit their revolutionary websites, there's fuck all on it except my interview. That is Scottish nationalism. That is the independence movement run by profiteers for a fast buck, so you can spend your money at the bar in Burns country. Bye bye for now.